Greetings, irritants, and welcome to my 100% playthrough of the System Shock 2 25th Anniversary Remaster on Hard. This is the prologue of the game, the UNN Ramsey Recruitment Center.
Look at you, hacker. A pathetic creature of meat and bone, panting and sweating as you run through my corridors. How can you challenge a perfect, immortal machine? In 2072, a rogue artificial intelligence known as Shodan lost her mind. In her limitless imagination, Shodan saw herself as a goddess, destined to inherit the earth. That image was snuffed out by the hacker who created her.
February 3rd is the day the magic happens. The Von Braun, the first starship in history capable of traveling at faster than light speed, will undertake her maiden voyage. This incredible journey is the result of teamwork between the UNN Protectorate and the incredible scientific minds at the newly relicensed Tri-Optimum Corporation. Imagine being able to travel to distant star systems in a period of weeks. It's all part of Tri-Op's commitment to the future. The Von Braun is packed with over 1.8 billion flight, scientific, and security systems, nearly all developed by Tri-Optimum and its wholly owned subsidiaries. Providing security for the Von Braun as she plows through the heavens will be the UNN Rickenbacker. At her helm will be no less than Captain William Bedford Diego himself, hero of the Battle of Boston Harbor during the Eastern States Police action. This incredible union of government and corporation is made possible by an intricate series of docking mechanisms that will allow the Rickenbacker to piggyback its way into jump space. Sleek, fast, revolutionary. Who knows what wonders await our crews in the bosom of the cosmos? All we do know is that it's a great day for mankind.
This is Dr. Navigator of the UNN Von Braun. We've been hijacked by an unknown force. Ship security has been compromised. Do not allow the ship... Repeat, do not allow the ship to leave under any circumstances. I don't know what we're up against here.
Well, that was a lovely train ride. I guess we shall disembark.
Welcome to the Ramsey Center UNN Recruitment Facility.
Hi.
Please watch your step when leaving the train. The grav shafts at the end of the hall will take you to the street-level Training and Recruitment Center. Please proceed to the grav shafts.
Ah, the Unified Nations Nominate Training and Recruitment. Well, time to see what career path we'll be setting ourselves on for, I don't know.
Step into the grav shafts to proceed to the street-level Recruitment Center.
Oh, alright, keep your pants on. Ooh. Fancy. Huh. This is a cozy little pocket of downtown, I guess is where we're supposed to be. Hey, what's that? The Happy Noodle. I like noodles. Hey, looks like you only have one customer. Hey, sir, can you let me in? I'm hungry. Hey, look, you got those American Chinese takeout boxes that every Chinese restaurant here in America has. What you guys got up there? Let's see, chicken dumplings, lemongrass pocky, that sounds interesting. Summer rolls, chicken satay, chicken pho, tofu and vegetables, winter dumpling soup, emu and coconut sauce, Thai peanut noodles, Shanghai beef with chicken, kung pao chicken, vegetarian delight, ginger nanite chicken, pad thai with tofu, broccoli no beef with rice. Let's see. Drinks. Carbonated sugar water. I guess that's technically soda. Green tea and sake and diet sake? Diet sake. So that's what? Sake without alcohol. So, like liquid rice? Basically like porridge. Yum. Alright. Well, I guess there's no time to eat right now. It is a lovely sunset here in whatever the hell city this is supposed to be. But time to set ourselves on our career path for the rest of our days. Under the watchful eyes and hands of the Unified Nations nominate.
Before you choose your career, you'll want to learn some basic abilities.
Hi.
First, you should go into the Basic Training Center. When you're done with basic training, proceed to the Advanced Training area.
Hey, C-3PO, your wires are exposed. Might want to cover those up. Just saying.
To pick up some basic skills you'll need to get by in the service, enter this Cyberlink booth. Inside, you'll learn the basic skills you'll need to get started.
Alright. What the hell?
Trainee. While you're in our virtual training courses, we provide you with a simulated cyber interface. This training interface is identical to an actual military-grade cyber interface. Now let's try it out.
Is this glass?
Currently, you should be able to look around freely. That means you're in shoot mode. Now, press the switch mode button. This puts you in use mode, where you can access your inventory and interact with items in the world. You can also access various MFDs, or multi-function display screens, from within use mode.
What's that?
Open up your character MFD by selecting the body icon located at the bottom of your screen, or by cycling to it within use mode. The character MFD displays your strengths and abilities pertaining to different skills. When you're ready to continue, press the switch mode button to go back to shoot mode. Try changing between use and shoot modes until you get the hang of it. You'll be doing this frequently. Now follow the red path along the ground to the next training station.
Switch modes till I'm used to it, huh? Okay. Use, shoot. Use, shoot. Use, shoot. Okay, I'm used to it. Huh. Very cyberspacey. I like.
To pick up an item, first highlight it by centering it in your view. A highlighted item will display brackets around it, showing you that it can be picked up. You can then press the Interact button to pick it up, which will automatically place it into your inventory. Open your inventory again by pressing the Switch Mode button. You can organize items in your inventory by grabbing and moving them within the grid. To drop an item, highlight the item and choose Drop from the Actions menu.
Or do it like that. But that OJ looks good. I want some. Gotta get some of that vitamin C in me, know what I'm saying? And a bag of chips, which are called Krako's Puffs. Well, after some salty cheese puffs, gotta wash it down with some OJ. Yeah. Delicious. Alright, that's simple enough. What next? What next?
To interact with objects like buttons and computers, highlight them by centering them in your view and pressing the Interact button. Similar to items, all usable objects will be highlighted with brackets around them. Go ahead and activate the lift by interacting with the button on the pillar. If you can still see your inventory, it means you're in use mode. You can return to shoot mode by pressing the switch mode button.
Huh. Tetracorp. They made this button. What model number is this button? Ooh. Hey, this elevator's holographic. That's nifty. Alright. Cool. I can press buttons. Awesome. We're moving right on along.
The item you see here is a med hypo.
Sweet
Pick
drugs.
it up, then open your inventory by pressing the switch mode button. Now try pressing the use button on the med hypo to restore some of your missing hit points. Your hit points are represented by the top bar in the lower left corner of your screen. Many items in your inventory can be used by pressing the use button.
You don't say. Well, to use while in use mode, we hit the right mouse button. Or you can bind the med hypo to whatever you want. Sweet. Full health and full, whatever this red stuff is. Oh. Meh. I'm gonna take this one too. See you.
See the crate in front of you?
Yes.
You can search crates and other similar containers for items by highlighting it and pressing the Interact button.
Cool.
This will display a small container window revealing what is inside of it. To take an item from the container, highlight it and press the Take button. This will automatically place that item in your inventory. To close the container window and return to shoot mode, press the Switch Mode button.
A small quantity of fermium. Ooh. Periodic tables, huh? Carrying around some chemicals, are we? Well, this is my fermium now. No one else's.
One of the most important tools you have as a soldier is your Personal Digital Assistant, or PDA. This device stores audio logs, emails, and other useful information. You can open the PDA by selecting the disk icon located at the bottom of your screen or by cycling to it within use mode. Now try picking up the audio log item in front of you.
Done it already. Let's take a listen.
The message currently visible on your screen is coming from the audio log you just picked up. You can listen to the most recent log you picked up by pressing the Play Media button. Conveniently, your PDA now contains that audio log, which can be replayed at any time in the logs section. You're also able to reread any email received in the email section. Similarly, as you complete objectives and discover crucial items, the notes section will populate with mission data.
Sounds useful. Alright. What next?
Now it's time to learn about jumping and mantling.
Jump.
To jump, simply press the jump button.
Jump.
Some surfaces can be mantled onto by holding down the jump button. Mantling lets you pull yourself up to ledges and other high places in front of you. Give it a try.
Mantle. And jump. Alright, come on. Pump them thighs. Pump them thighs. Oh. Remember to actually pump them thighs. Whee! You know what? That's good enough.
To climb a ladder, simply walk into it and look upward. You'll automatically start climbing the ladder.
It is actually possible to make that gap, but it is really hard. Good news is, though, there's no gaps anywhere in this game that are this wide that you have to jump across. Also, mantling can be a little bit finicky at times, but don't worry. I would say 9 times out of 10 it works as intended. But alright, basic training is done. That was fast.
You've done well. Remember, if you're unclear on any aspect of what you've just learned, you can repeat the training as often as you wish.
Cool. I think I'm done. Alright, basic training down, advanced training next. Ooh, hey, what's this? The Thinking Man's Army, OSA. Also, fun fact, it has never been officially confirmed what OSA means in this game. People have come up with their own canonical meanings, like the Office of Special Affairs, or Organization of Secret Assholes. I don't know. Something like that. UNN starts with U. Will I at least have a face? These people don't have faces. These people have no face. That's got some scary implications. What's that say? Marines? Navy. Alright. Advanced training time.
If you've completed basic training, you're ready for the advanced lessons provided here.
Cool.
Advanced training will familiarize you with the 3 key areas of military service: weapons training, technical training, and psionics training. Approach the Cyberlink booth of your choice to train in that area. When you've finished training in the 3 areas, proceed directly to the Recruitment Center to choose and start your military career.
Alright. Now you're speaking my love language.
Alright, wannabe. If you want to learn the weapon skills it takes to even think about joining the Marines, come on in. We're looking for a few good men.
A few good men, huh? I think I could be a few good man.
Good to have you on board. You'll notice when you're in the Cyberlink booth, the UNN has kindly provided you with a virtual cyber interface and all the simulated skill levels you'll need for the training tasks.
Can confirm.
Don't get too cocky. They'll disappear once you leave the booth.
Boo. 0 out of 5 would not recommend.
Now we'll teach you how to handle a firearm.
Yay.
Pick up the pistol and the clip from the table. You can equip the weapon by either dragging it into your weapon equip slot on the right side of your inventory, or by selecting Equip from the Actions menu. To lock and load the ammo clip, hit the Reload button. Once you've loaded the firearm, take a shot at the dummy robot by pressing the Fire button when in shoot mode. Notice how its health bar gets shorter as you chip away at it.
My good robot. Did you just call a magazine a clip not once but twice? Ugh. Some Marine you are. Ooh, it's green. It is very green. Then again, this whole room is green. Alright. Guess I better take these clips. Yeah. Yeah, call it a clip again. I dare ya. Hey, you like that 45 ACP? Well, that was quick. You respawn too fast. I'm going home.
Some items need to be charged with energy before they can be used.
Ooh.
Pick up the laser pistol. Now, use the recharging station nearby. The recharge station will juice up all your energy-based items. Weapons, batteries, you name it.
Can I shoot you too? Oh, sorry. Itchy trigger finger. That time it was on purpose. I gotta make sure the machinery actually works. And that was because I just wanted to. And so was that. And so was that. Hey, these are fun. Let's see. Looks like this thing has another mode. Oh. Setting changed to over. Hey, Mr. Robot, what's this do? Oh. Oh my. Probably shouldn't have too much fun with that. Alright, let me at him. Let me at him.
Weapons are not fine wines. They do not get better with age. The colored dot on the lower right corner of the screen tells you what kind of shape your firearm is in. Green is good, red is bad. To fight the effects of wear and tear, a soldier with maintenance skill can use a maintenance tool to improve the condition of his weapon. Just pick up the tool, open your inventory, and drag the tool onto your pistol. Remember that maintenance tools are only good for a single use.
Alright. Average 5, huh? More like perfect 10. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna take one for the road, too. Mine now.
Good work. Now you're ready for the Marines.
Already?
Take a look at the other training areas first before you enlist. They might just come in handy.
Huh. Well, that was a quick boot camp. Alright, so weapon training for the Marines, eh? I'm guessing technical is Navy.
Inside, we'll teach you the basics of some technical skills you'll need in the Navy.
Woo! Well, that was quick.
Welcome. You'll notice when you're in the Cyberlink booth, we'll provide you with a temporary cyber interface and the skills you need to accomplish the training tasks. But they'll only last so long as you're in the booth.
I think we've established that so far.
The object in front of you is a container of nanites. Nanites are consumed whenever you perform technical tasks, such as hacking or repairing. When you pick up the container of nanites, they do not go in your general inventory, but are instead displayed in use mode on the bottom left of your screen. Walk over to the keypad by the door and try out hacking.
Okay.
Use the keypad by interacting with it. To the right of the number pad, you'll see an orange tab labeled Hack. Select the tab. Text will appear indicating the difficulty of the hack and any bonuses that apply.
Oh.
Select the Start button to begin hacking. You'll see a grid of nodes. Selecting a node will either turn it bright or dark. To successfully hack, you must connect 3 bright nodes in a straight line. Beware the ice nodes with the red outlines. If one of these turns dark, you fail the hack, and you might break the item you're working on, or worse. You can restart your hack attempt at any time by selecting the Reset button, though you'll have to pay the nanite cost again.
Yeah, take that to heart. Beware the ice nodes. So one thing I will say, this character we're going to be doing for this playthrough is going to be very hacker-focused, and every hackable item in this game, with the exception of one that I can think of. Well, no, I guess technically, like, 2 or 3. But keypads are one of the things where if you fail the hack, you break what you're trying to hack, and then you have to repair it. I do not I do not put any points into the repair skill, which, by the way, is right here. Which we have this for the tutorial, but only for the tutorial. Yeah, I never repair anything at all. Also, they don't go over the repair mechanic in this tutorial, and I'm willing to bet the only reason for that is because it's the exact same minigame as the hacking minigame, but the layout of the nodes is slightly different. Same for modifying your weapons. Maintenance involves no minigame at all. It's just dragging that maintenance tool from the previous training over a weapon to repair it. Or to maintain it. And research, they don't go over that at all here, but we'll go over that in a bit, once the actual game starts. But, yeah. So, if you hack a keypad and you fail it, you break it and have to repair it before you can try the hack again. Or if you know what the code is, you can just punch in the code. So, but anyway, let's hack. Oh, no, not gonna do that. There we go. Ooh, money.
Compromised. Security access compromised.
Hey, Mr. Trainer Man, who was that? He sounds distinguished yet robotic.
You can use nanites to buy items from replicators.
Ooh.
To use a replicator, interact with it, then select the item you wish to purchase. If you have the correct amount of nanites for the item, it will drop into the slot below. Make sure you pick up your purchases before you leave.
Okay.
Hi there. Please make your selection.
Hello, value rep. Oh, yes, you can hack these too, huh? And yes, you can. But just like with keypads, if you try to hack a replicator and you fail, you break it and have to repair it before trying again.
Hi there. Please
Replicator
make your
database
selection.
reinitialized.
Huh, there's that voice again. But I'll take a little bit of the everything.
Value rep.
Thank you for letting me hack you and get some cheaper prices. Oh, yeah.
This is a security camera.
Yes, it
If
is.
the camera spots you, it will raise an alarm and summon security forces to your location.
Oh, that's not good.
You can either wait out the alarm, or access the nearest security computer to stop the alarm immediately. You can also hack security computers to temporarily disable all cameras and turrets in the area.
Ooh.
To hack a security computer, interact with it. Then select the hack button.
And security computers, I believe, are the same way as keypads and replicators. If you fail the hack of a security computer, I think you're just locked out. I don't think you break it. But you can't, like, you literally cannot try to hack it a second time. I think it's just permanently broken. So be very careful with these.
Security system offline.
But yeah, if you successfully hack a computer, this little timer here appears. And the cameras and turrets, by the way, are disabled for whatever the amount of time is. And the higher your hack skill, which is right here, the longer the timeout will be.
Security system online.
Hi. Bye.
You've learned the basics of the technical skills. There are several other technical skills you'll learn throughout the course of your career, such as repairing items and modifying weapons. The cyber interfaces for these tasks are similar to the hacking interface.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Before you enlist in the Navy, try out the other training courses. They'll be useful.
Alright. Well, 2 down, 1 to go, huh? Psionics. Ooh.
Inside, you will learn how to reach out with your mind.
Trippy.
Do not let fear block your path.
Do not let fear block my... What is this, psionics or Scientology? One way to find out, I guess.
We've provided you with a virtual interface and the temporary ability to project simulated psionic powers. Once you leave this area, these powers will be lost to you.
Oh, sure. Just ruin my fun.
The bottom bar in the lower left of your screen tells you how many psi points you have.
Ah.
Psi points represent your current ability to use psi powers.
Okay.
Psi hypos will replenish your psi points. Try using a psi hypo and watch your psi points increase. When you've reached your maximum in psi
Ooh.
points, move to the next station.
45 psi points. Awesome. What that?
This psi amp amplifies your psi powers and lets you project them into the real world. To equip it, pick it up and go into use mode. You can either drag the psi amp to the weapons equip slot or press equip from the actions menu. Firing the psi amp activates your currently selected psi discipline. You currently have access to 2 disciplines, cryokinesis and kinetic redirection. Psi disciplines can be switched by pressing the Cycle Powers button, or from within use mode. Later, pressing the weapon setting button will allow you to select Psi disciplines from higher tiers. You can also choose Psi disciplines and tiers in the Psi section of your MFD. Use cryokinesis to destroy the robot, and kinetic redirection to pull that nanite container towards you. Be careful. Holding the fire button can augment the power, but holding it for too long will cause burnout, which will damage you. If you run out of psi points, use another psi hypo.
Okay. Cryokinesis. Ho! Oh, nifty. Super nifty. Alright. I am going to attempt to reach out to that packet of nanites with my mind. Nanites. Cool. That's it, huh? Oh, more nanites? Sure. I'll take more nanite. Aw. How about this? Deny me my nanites? I'm gonna take more of your nanites. I want all yo damn nanites. But in case you haven't figured out yet, nanites are basically the currency of this game. These things here, you'll learn what these are once the game actually starts. But for now, I think we're done with training. Let's decide which military branch we wish to serve in, shall we?
Mastery of the mind is a slow but rewarding process. Return to this area if you need more guidance. Before you enlist in the OSA, it would be useful to experiment in the other training courses.
Alright, well, time to make the ultimate decision.
Here's where you make your choice, soldier. Here's where you enlist in one of the 3 branches of the military. Once you decide on your branch of service, there's no going back. A shuttle will take you to a UNN orbital space station where you'll receive a briefing regarding your yearly postings. Good luck.
So, here is where the ultimate choice is made. Now, each skill, or each branch, I should say, gives you a natural boost to some of your existing skills, which we don't have the MFD out here, so I can't check. But the OSA is more geared towards usage of the psi powers, so you'll get points added to your psi stat. Marines is pretty much the run and gun. It's going to focus largely on standard weapons, which would be like your pistol, your shotgun, and your assault rifle, as well as raw strength, which beefs up your melee damage. And the Navy is kind of like the jack of all trades, master of none. You learn some weapon skills, not as much as the Marines, but you also learn some technical skills like hacking, modifying, repairing, maintenance, that kind of stuff, more than the Marines or the OSA. And, well, my favorite branch, personally, is Navy, because I love to hack, and Navy gets you a natural edge when it comes to hacking. Now, there is a certain psi discipline that will help in that as well, and we will be keeping a psi-amp with us for this playthrough for that one specific reason. But, yeah, as the village people said, in the Navy, Shuttle Bay 2, here I am. Hey, are we going to jump into light speed? No? Okay. Say, this ain't a half-bad docking station y'all got here. Hi. How you doing? How's the weather up here? What's your name? What's your job? Sir? Not the talkative sort, huh? I get it. That is a very detailed planet Earth. Holy crap. I think it even looked that detailed back in the original release in 1999. Which is almost 30 years ago. I'm old. Anyway. Pressurized portal 2B32. Year 1. Alright. Oh, a robot. Hi, robot.
Welcome aboard the space station Chesapeake Bay, sailor.
Hi.
It looks like you've picked up some standard weapon skills at basic on Coronado Island.
Yep.
Now it's time for your tour of duty. Your tour will consist of 4 postings over 4 years.
He said duty.
In this man's Navy, you're given a choice of 3 different postings a year. It's up to you to decide what kind of career you want to have, so choose wisely. Just approach a shuttle bay to receive a briefing on a posting. If you think that posting is right for you, head into that bay to accept the assignment.
Alright. Sounds simple enough. 4 postings over 4 years, eh? Well, no sense in delaying the inevitable. Hey, you guys' jobs look pretty safe. Hey, can I come in? Hey, hi. I want to do whatever it is you're doing. Why are those chairs so far away from the desk? Someone's going to trip over those chairs. They're going to sprain an ankle. Going to file for workers' comp. Just trying to keep an eye out for you. Ooh, crates. Ooh, a locker. Hey, can I has some of the contents of these crates, Mr. Logistics Man? in your fancy yellow jumpsuit and pants. Also, I would not want to be standing that close to a flammable container. Just saying. Oh. Command. Meeting minutes available CC. Personnel reviews H-M. Do submit leave requests. All hands meeting at 0800 in conference room B. DB access briefing. Christmas party sign-up sheet available. Ooh. Christmas. Alright. Mission postings and shuttles. Alright. Okay. What do we have here? The UNN Lucille Ships Ops, UNN Lucille Engineers Mate, and UNN Lucille Military Police. Ooh. Military Police sounds very Marines. UNN Career Advisor. What do we have here? Modify. Determines your chances of modifying a weapon to an improved state. Repair. Determines your chances of repairing broken weapons or computer systems. And Hack. Determines your chances of hacking various computer systems. So, I will say right here and right now, I never, ever, ever put any points into repair or modify. Now, if I feel like it, I might do modify. But there are actually items you find in the game, similar to the technical maintenance tool, which maintains your weapons. I should say your guns, by the way. Melee weapons do not degrade, thank God, so you don't have to maintain those. But there are items you can find that will handle modification and repair jobs for you absolutely free at absolutely no skill cost to you. Now, when it comes to repair, well, yeah. So, when it comes to repairing broken weapons, I think the higher your repair skill is, matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the higher your repair skill is, the higher the condition, that little number from 1 to 10, the higher that number will go upon repairing. So, if your repair skill is, say, 1 out of 6, you'll probably repair it to, condition from 0 to 1. But if it's at a full 6, it might go from condition 0 to 6. I never bother with repair, like I said, unless I use the item in the game that does repairing for you. So I don't know for sure. But we are for sure going to go for the hacking path. But let's hear the details of all these postings and see what all skills get increased. Shall we? First up, UNN Lucille Military Police.
The UNN Lucille is looking for volunteers for their military police detachment. Those sailors can get pretty rowdy on these year-long cruises, so you better not be afraid of a tussle.
Tussle, huh? Tussle's my middle name. So, +1 modify and +1 strength. So, like I said, I'm not going to put any points into modify. I'll find items to modify weapons for me. So, we're not going to be doing that one. What about the engineer's mate?
The UNN Lucille is looking for an engineer's mate to help maintain the ship's core energy systems. There's some heavy lifting involved, sailor, but you'll learn your way around the high-tech equipment.
And this is +1 repair and +1 strength. Well, again, like I said, I do not put any points into repair, so shall not be doing... My goodness. Shall not be doing this one either. I cannot talk today. My goodness. We shall not be doing... Oh, shut up.
Is looking for an engineer's
shut up.
To help.
Ship's ops.
The UNN Lucille is looking for an ops training officer to learn the ship's navigation and data control systems. You'll get your feet wet with the high-tech systems, but also expect some heavy lifting.
Yeah, I can do some heavy lifting. So, +1... So all three of these postings for the Navy in year 1 will give you +1 to your strength, which not only lets you carry more stuff by opening more inventory slots, but also increases your melee damage. So no matter which of these postings you take, you'll get 1 point of strength, but they also increase a different skill. Military Police is +1 to your, I think, modify. Engineer's Mate is +1 to repair, and then Ship's Ops is +1 to hack. And that is what we should be doing.
Lucille is looking for an ops training officer to learn the ship's navigation and data.
Woo! Ship's Ops. All right. February 13th, 2112. Your tour of duty aboard the UNN Lucille has concluded. You've spent a productive year. Captain Mayer, or is that Meyer, was pleased with your work, especially with the initiative you showed in physical training. A friendly ensign showed you some back doors into the ship's primary data loop, and you spent your time off pumping good old-fashioned iron. +1 hack, and +1 strength. Aw, yeah. Alright, year 2. Let's go. What have we here this time? Laverne Tactical Training School, UNN Pierce Ordnance Master. Ooh, that sounds fun. And UNN Carfax Navigator's Mate. Alright, what are we going to be increasing here? Standard weapons. Increases the amount of damage you inflict with standard weapons. Well, that's obvious enough. So in this game, and again, we don't have the MFD, so I can't show you in, on the screen yet. But in this game, there are 4 different categories of weapons. You have standard weapons, which I guess the wrench is included as a standard weapon. Even though it's a melee, maybe it is. So possibly the wrench. But as far as guns go, it's going to be your pistol, your shotgun, and your assault rifle. You have energy weapons, which you do. There is no posting for increasing your energy weapons skill in the Navy, I don't think. Ooh, excuse me. But those weapons will be your laser pistol, laser rapier, which is one of my favorite weapons in the game, just like in the original System Shock, and the EMP rifle. Then there are heavy weapons, which is your grenade launcher. Oh god, what else? The stasis field generator, which honestly is more novelty than anything, and the, I believe, fusion cannon, which is incredibly powerful but requires a rather hefty skill point investment to be able to even use. And then your fourth and final, and by far the most unique, is your exotic weapons. And all of those, before you can even use them, you have to research them. And all but one of them require a... Actually, no, they all require a fairly high research skill. And, of course, there's also, weapon skill point minimums that you have to hit before you can use them either. So, and some weapons, one of which being the laser rapier that I know of, you have to actually meet skill point requirements in 2 separate skills before you can use it. You have to have an energy weapon skill of 4 and also an agility stat of 3. And the maximum you can bump up any of your skills or stats in this game is 6. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, so standard weapons, we can buff that up. Maintenance determines how much you can improve the condition of a weapon or turret with a maintenance tool, and the charge-powered items can hold. Now, I've never tried to use a maintenance tool on a turret. I kind of forgot about that part. But yeah, you can also increase the amount of charge that all of your powered items can hold. I think by default it's 100. And all powered items in this game, with the exception of one, burns through 1 percentage point of their charge, or rather 1 point of their charge, every 10 seconds. The one exception to that burns through, I'm not going to say what it is just yet, not until we find it, but it instead burns through 1 point of charge every 5 seconds. Now you might think that's a bit of a babysitting job, but it's actually not too bad. Memorize the locations of the energy recharge stations like we found back in the, I believe it was the Marines training, and you'll be just fine. But that's what maintenance does. And then at the bottom we have cybernetic affinity. Ooh, sounds very sci-fi. Improves your chances of successfully using the hack, repair, and modify skills, and also lessens the number of dangerous nodes, that's the ice nodes, when using those skills. So yes, and since we're going to be very hacker focused, that is more than likely what we're going to be going with. But let's just take a look at what they all give us. So Laverne Tactical Training gives you +2 standard weapons, +1 maintenance, and +2 cybernetic affinity. Oh, right.
Class B comet.
Let's start over.
Laverne, Florida hosts the Navy's premier tactical training school. While maybe not as respected as the Marines facility at Fort Bush, there's a lot to be learned here.
Okay, simple and effective.
The UNN Pierce is ferrying liberated political prisoners back home from their detention near Saturn. The Pierce has been assigned a detachment of Marines and needs sailors to load, administer, and maintain the arms on board the ship.
So we're ferrying prisoners, okay.
The UNN Carfax is undertaking a mission to examine a newly discovered Class B comet approaching the outer solar system. You'll likely pick up some useful skills working with the high-tech navigation systems aboard this newly commissioned heavy cruiser.
Ooh, now that sounds fun. So, We can either get +2 to our standard weapons, which is not a bad choice. I do plan on using the assault rifle, which requires a fully decked out standard weapon skill of 6. And I think if you don't take this posting, you will only have 1 point of standard weapons. At least in the Navy. I think as Marines you might start out at 2, maybe. Or you might have more postings where you can beef up your standard weapons. I need to look that up again. But +2 to standard weapons, +1 to maintenance, because I think by actually, no. We don't have any points in... So you will have at least 1 point in standard weapons, because the game does want to make sure you can at least use your pistol. +2 in cybernetic affinity, which makes hacking easier, or +1 in maintenance. Now, maintenance is not a bad path to choose. And the reason this one's not a bad choice is because it actually takes more skill points to level something up from 0 to 1 than it does to go from level 1 to level 2. Spending points on an initial investment to get a skill to level 1 is more costly. And I believe on hard difficulty, which is what we're playing on, that's the second hardest, getting a skill from 0 to 1 is 13 cyber modules. Whereas to go from level 1 to level 2, it's just under half that at 6. And I don't remember if you already have a point in cybernetic affinity or not. Now, I went with the Carfax last time. I didn't really run into any issues with maintaining. Honestly, most of the combat in this game is going to be melee anyway. We're not really going to be using the guns too much. Not until later. We will be using them on occasion to destroy things like, maybe some cameras or some turrets, whatever. Or if we get into a situation where just using anything ranged is better. So you won't really need maintenance early on, and we can just dump points into it as need be. Whenever you find a weapon, a similar weapon, that is at a higher condition than the one you're using, just swap out the weapons. The only thing you want to make sure is that you don't modify the weapon before tossing it. Because if you do that, then you have to modify the new one, which means you have to either go through the minigame again and pay the nanite cost, or use one of those auto-modifying items. Which I'm not going to say what the name of it is until we actually find it. All I will say is those things are incredibly rare. I think the amount you find increases or decreases with difficulty, but on hard, I think I've only ever found 4. And every weapon, or I should say every gun in this game, the melee weapons cannot be modified, but all the firearms can. You can modify them twice. And then, of course, the higher you modify it, the more skill points in the modify skill are required, or you can just bypass that by using the device. So I am probably going to keep 2 or 3 firearms on me and modify those. But I will make that choice as I go along. And who knows, I might sacrifice something else and dump some points into modify if I decide to. Hey, this game is my easel, and I am the artist. It is my choice. But for starting out, I want to be a hacker man, so we're going to go with cybernetic affinity.
Carfax is undertaking a mission to examine a newly discovered class.
Hello, UNN Carfax. February 11th, 2113. Your tour of duty aboard the UNN Carfax has concluded. It was a good year for you, but not a great one for the Carfax. After taking a surprise hit from a small meteorite that separated from the larger mass, the Carfax was forced to limp home with 123 casualties, including the chief navigation officer. You stepped in and filled his shoes, and by the end of the year, you became quite skilled with the NeuroNav interface. You have gained +2 cybernetic affinity. Hell yeah. Alright, 2 years down, 2 to go. Let's go. Year 3, what we got, what do we have, what do we got? What do you say, what do you know, what do you know, what do you say? Yamamoto Zero-G Training, IO Survival Training School, or Marie Curie Research Facility. Okay. What are we beefing up here? Agility, determines your movement speed and reduces both falling damage and weapon kickback. That is definitely nice to have, but not necessarily required unless you just want to move faster. And you can outrun pretty much any enemy in this game, even the first ones that you meet, which are pretty much the fastest that you'll meet until much later in the game, by strafe running. When in doubt, strafe run. Strafe running is awesome. So, I mean, you can buff that up early if you want. We'll also find something that will help us with that without having to dump any skill points into it at the moment. and I will describe what that is when we find it. I do not want to spoil it for right now, though. So that's agility. Endurance determines your maximum hit points and your resistance to radiation and toxins. Radiation goes down over time. Toxins do not go down over time. This is very important to remember. Now, there are hypos in this game, anti-rad and anti-tox, that you want to keep on hand. You don't really need the anti-rad too much, because if you get radiated, you can just kind of tank the damage till the radiation goes away and then heal yourself afterward. But toxins are permanent, and the higher your toxin level, the more hit points go down each few seconds. Always, always, always stockpile the yellow hypos. That's the anti-toxin hypos. There is a piece of armor you get in this game that pretty much prevents you from ever getting toxinated, if that's a word, by anything that I can think of. And most radiation, unless you're close to a super, super concentrated source of it. But it shouldn't be that big a deal. Once you find that suit of armor, by the way, or that rad suit, keep it. It's a 2x2 inventory slot item, but it is so useful. You are not going to want to let it go. That'd be a huge mistake. Always keep it with you. And finally, research. Determines the efficiency of your research. Researching organs can yield useful information, and some items cannot be used without first being researched. Yes, there are some items in this game that you have to research before being able to use, whether they be weapons or other things. And also, and this is the more important thing, this is why I'm going to go with research, there are organs, like it says here, of certain enemies that when researched, grants you a 25% damage bonus against them. I cannot tell you how useful that damage bonus is on harder difficulties. So, if you don't go the research path, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. You'll just have to pay 13 cyber modules again on hard difficulty. On impossible, it's like 16 or 17. But you'll just have to pay more to get it, and you will want it. Now, here's a nice little exploit I'm going to teach you. The vast majority of things in this game only require a research level of 1 out of 6 to be able to actually research. There are some that require higher level research, and there's only one thing that requires a max level of research, which we are not going to do because it's kind of not worth it at that point in the game. And all a higher level research skill does other than that, than being able to research those few items that require a higher skill, a research skill, is your research meter will increase faster. Not really a necessity. And there's an item in the game that'll help boost that as well, which I will explain what that is when we get there. But yes, I personally would go research. It is super useful. Do not neglect research. Oh, for the love of all things holy, do not neglect research. I don't really mind endurance too much. You're going to be a bit of a paper tiger at first because you're not going to find any armor for a short while. So if you get hit by something, the first enemies mainly that you find, it's going to do some damage. But I'll show you the best way to dealing with them. And I'll go ahead and tell you right now, there is absolutely no shortage of healing items in this game, even on the hardest difficulty. Stockpile them. Do not be afraid to use them. Unless you're just using them willy-nilly, you're more than likely never going to run short on them. And there's other ways of healing yourself as well, which requires no hypos, but just requires a bit of money, or nanites. So all that being said, we are going to get some research, which is the Marie Curie option. But let's listen to all the postings anyway. First up, Yamamoto Zero-G training.
The Navy strongly encourages every sailor to undertake some amount of zero-G training. A year at the Yamamoto space station in Earth's orbit will more than suffice.
+2 agility. Now, you do have at least 1 point of agility when you start the game, so, you know, I'm guessing you need at least 1 point to even be able to move at all, so that's probably why. So you can get 2 more points in it if you want. I'm not going to worry about it. Let's go over to the IO Survival Training School. What does this beef up for us? Endurance?
The Navy maintains a survival training school on the surface of Io, the third moon of Jupiter. Pros, there's no better way to improve stamina and survival skills.
Yeah.
Cons, the 21.2% mortality rate.
Ew. 21.2% mortality. That's a bit high for my liking. But it does beef up your endurance skill by 2. Now, again, I don't worry too much about endurance. Once you find even your first suit of armor, that helps you immensely. And you will find a beefier suit of armor, much beefier, a bit later on in the game, which is the one I'll be sticking with once we find it, which bumps up your defense by 50 points, which is the most of any suit of armor in the game, I do believe. And pretty much, I think I will bump my endurance from 1, because that's what it is by default. I'll bump it up from 1 to 2 at some point in the beginning, and then I kind of just leave it there until later when I just decide, yeah, screw it, I'll put in some endurance. You know, I'll spend some modules on endurance. But we are getting research. Oh, yeah.
The Navy's Marie Curie research facility on Aquinas 4 is currently conducting research on a new strain of spaceborne virus that killed 220,000 citizens of New Atlanta. To lift the quarantine, we must determine how the virus pierced the city's micronanite shielding.
Are you sure it was a bacterial infection or virus that killed that many people in a city called New Atlanta? Have you ever been to Atlanta? I don't think you have. But anyway, only 1 point of research, but that is all the points we will need. Like I said, most things in this game only require a research level of 1 to be researched to begin with. And so that's all we're going to need. But I would like to go ahead and get it now so I don't have to pay for it later, because you do not start with any points in research by default, at least not as a Navy character. It's probably the same as Marines and OSA as well. So if whatever branch of military you choose, if you have an opportunity to get a point of research, for the love of God, take it. But anyway, all that being said, Marie Curie Research Facility on Aquinas 4, here we come. Light, speed, light, speed, light, speed, light, speed. Okay, not quite light speed, but I'll take it. Hey, it's just called light speed, not faster than light speed. Alright, February 9th, 2114. Your tour of duty at the Marie Curie Research Facility has concluded. Congratulations on surviving the disaster, sailor. When the saboteurs removed the safety seals and released the virus into the atmospheric control regulators, you were one of the few to reach safety in time. However, you were able to pick up a few odds and ends of research techniques before the crap hit the fan. You've gained +1 research. Alright. Alright. 3 years down, 1 to go. Oh. Hi? William Bedford Diego? UNN Rickenbacker? Assignment to the Von Braun escort mission? Your application to join the crew of the Rickenbacker has been approved. Report to Shuttle Mayfair at Port Francisco at 0400 on January 9, 2114. Get ready to become part of history, soldier. WBD. I forget what that stands for.
Shuttle A-138. You have clearance for landing on the Von Braun in Shuttle Bay 2. Welcome aboard, soldier.
Does WBD stand for welcome aboard? 5 months later, UNN Von Braun near Tau Ceti 5, 67 trillion miles away from Earth. Oh, this is our 4th year posting, is it? We've been in cryo sleep. How fun. Ew. A worm. Why are there worms? Hey, can I go back to the Chesapeake Bay place? It was much safer over there. Oh!
Initializing memory strings.
Woo! You know she's dead.
Patient memory. Restoring memory. Restoring memory.
Oh boy. Memory loss. That's how you know shit's really about to hit the fan.
Steady yourself, soldier. This is Dr. Janice Polito of the computer ops staff of the Von Braun. You're safe for the time being. You're recovering from the effects of surgery and will be unable to remember any of the events of the last few weeks. You're on board the starship Von Braun and something's gone very, very wrong. Some kind of force has hijacked this ship. That's why you volunteered to be implanted with some experimental cybernetic implants. Rely on your cyber interface. It just might save your life. You must find an elevator and come up to Deck 4 to meet me. Deck 4. Can you remember that? But keep your eyes open. They're after us both now.
Why? What did I do? Oh boy. I think shit's hit the fan. But that will be it for right now, yes. So that is the prologue of System Shock 2. Whether you're playing the 25th Anniversary Remaster or the original release, they both start in the exact same way. And yes, the prologue is just the UNN Ramsey Recruitment Center, where you go through the training if you wish. You don't have to. Unless, of course, you're going for the Archivist achievement, which is where you collect all of the audio logs in the game. If you're going for that achievement, you have to get that audio log in one of the training booths. I think it's in basic training. Otherwise, you will not get the achievement. But if you don't mind not getting it, or if you're like me and you've already gotten it, then you don't have to worry. You can skip both the basic and the advanced training and just go straight for the little recruitment four-way intersection. You pick the branch you want to serve in, the OSA, the Navy, or the Marines. You go through your first 3 postings to beef up some of your skills and stats, and then your 4th and final year, oh boy, that's where things go completely tits up. So, we decided to enlist ourselves in ye old Navy. We have gone through our first 3 years. We beefed up our... What did we beef up? First, I believe, was our... Damn, I can't even remember. Let's see. I did Cybernetic Affinity. That was the second one. Oh, Hack and Strength was the first one. Then Cybernetic Affinity, and then Research. That's right. And I think that is probably the optimal starting path. Getting a point of maintenance at the very beginning is very useful, but it's not as needed, because you can find... There is, again, just like with med hypos, well, actually, pretty much all the kinds of hypos, there is no shortage of maintenance tools in this game either, as long as you're thorough and you search everything you find. You will find plenty of those disposable maintenance tools. So pick them all up. They are a one-by-one item. They take up virtually no space at all, and you're going to want them. But before you dump some modules into your maintenance skill, you can just, swap out weapons as need be. If you find a similar weapon that is at a higher condition, even a slightly higher one, go ahead and take it. But we will be doing most of our fights via melee, so that's why you don't really... That's another reason why you don't have to worry about maintenance too early on unless you just want to. Because again, like I said, melee weapons, so that would be your wrench, your laser rapier, and one of your exotic weapons, which I will explain what those are once we actually find them. I will not be using them in this playthrough. I will go ahead and spoil it, but I will describe what they are. But they're so fancy and, well, dare I say, exotic, that I don't want to spoil what they are until we actually get to that point in the game. But those are your 3 melee weapons. And I'll tell you right now, the wrench serves you perfectly well enough for probably, honestly, the entire game. The only types of enemies it does not do a good amount of damage against is mechanical enemies, which are things like turrets and droids. But there's ways around that. But once we find the laser rapier and we dump some points in energy weapons, oh, those robots better say their prayers. That's all I'll really say for right now. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. But, yes, that was the prologue, everyone. That was the UNN Ramsey Recruitment Center. We are officially a sailor. I guess that would be a space sailor in the Navy. We are aboard the UNN von Braun, and something has very obviously gone very wrong. And we have to figure out exactly what that is. So, our first 3 postings were maybe not necessarily cakewalks, but we're now officially at the real deal. And that is where we shall be kicking things off good and proper next time. And if you're hearing something in the background, that's my fan. Because it's I have my blackout curtains drawn, but it is currently the middle of July during recording. It is July, I believe today is the 14th. Yes, July 14th of 2025. So it is right hot outside, so fans and blackout curtains are absolute cheat codes for this time of year. So yeah, if you hear my fan, or if you hear a constant, air rushing sound in the background, it shouldn't be too loud. That's what it is. It's my standing fan, which is next to my window, which thankfully is covered by my curtains. Otherwise, it'd be a little bit hot in here. But anyway, without prattling on for too much longer, everyone, that was the prologue of System Shock 2. This is where we get training for pretty much every aspect of your different skills. We look at some weapons and some items. Not all of them, of course. We do have to figure some things out as we go, and I will describe to you how these things work as we find them. But I did go over some rather important details, like how toxin never goes away on its own, and wear that protective suit once you find it. Now, we will not find it on this deck. We actually start on deck 2 of the ship. We go to deck 1 after deck 2, and then from there on we go from 3, 4, 5 onward. But there will be bebopping between decks, just like there was in the original System Shock. But each video will be primarily focusing on each deck. Whatever time I spend, visiting previous decks, I'll just be doing to run some simple little side errands, and I'll just timestamp those as need be. There's no secrets, like traditional secrets, to find in this game, so there's not really going to be any, secret 1 of 5, 2 of 5, whatever. Just whatever I think is significant, I'll timestamp that. Like maybe upgrading skills, getting certain key codes, which I will describe more about keypads and key codes and how those work and where to find them in the next video. So be prepared for that. But for right now, I don't want to spoil anything else for the third time. That was the UNN Ramsey Recruitment Center, everyone. Hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all have an awesome rest of your day. I'm out of here, and once we come back, it is time to get things started properly. System Shock 2, the 25th, technically 26th, anniversary remaster. Technically 26 because it has been 26 years since 1999. This remaster was supposed to come out last year on the actual 25th anniversary, but Night Dive ran into some issues. I think it was mainly with like the console releases, which those have since released as well. I think those released on July 10th. But yes, next video will be Deck 2 of the UNN Von Braun, and we will find out exactly just what the hell happened on this ship and what we can do to hopefully fix it. But that is where we shall continue, everyone. For right now, I'm out of here. You guys all stay safe and be well, and that usual spiel. And, yeah, I'll see you guys next time for Deck 2 of the UNN Von Braun. So, until next time, everyone, I bid you a fond farewell of... See ya!